Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sarah's Stitchery. I'm Sarah, and this is my Flosstube channel where I talk about my cross stitching. So welcome. As you can see here, I've got my little lovely ladies. I've got Miss Lily here and Miss Daisy down here. I'm gonna have to put them down in a second because this is not comfortable for any of us. But I always like to bring them on to say hello. Say hello, Daisy. Say hello, girls. So if you were here for my last video, I introduced Lily in the last video. She is new to our family. She has been with us for about 2.5 weeks now. So she's our newest addition. In fact, I made her adoption official on February 14th. So she's our little Valentine baby. She's our Valentine baby. Okay, girls, say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to put these girls down because this is not easy. But I do post a lot of pictures of them on my Instagram. So if you want to see pictures and sometimes videos of them, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Stitchy Sarah Reads. All right, let me put them down. All right, get on down, girls. There you go, babies. Okay. Okay. I do like to bring them on in the beginning just so they can say hi. And I wish I could hold them the whole time, but it's just not possible. So anyway, let's get started. Today is February 25th. It's a Sunday. And sorry, I'm just laughing at those girls. They're both sitting in the same chair. And it's the last Sunday of the month. Can you believe February is almost over? I felt like January was 1,000 years long, and now February is like over in a blink. So let's get right down to it. I have some fully finishes to show you today. I have a stitch along to talk about, and I have lots of whips to show you. So we're going to dive right in. The first things I'm going to share with you are my fully finishes. So these are things that I actually finished stitching recently that I showed, I want to say a couple of episodes ago maybe. So I finally got around to fully finishing them. So they are my FFOs, fully finished objects. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I FFO'd, that I fully finished, was this piece. The chart is called Winter Cometh. It is designed by Summer House Stitchworks. And I actually brought this to stitch when I went to the Stitch Away retreat that was hosted by Keepsakes last month in January. And surprisingly, or coincidentally, I should say, the guest designer of the retreat was Beth from Summer House Stitchworks. So I actually finished this piece at the same retreat that she was the guest designer for. So that was pretty cool. So I fully finished it here on this board that I am almost 100% sure that I got from Chantel's 141 Design Company. I'm pretty sure I got it from her. I'm almost positive. And I attached this with magnets because this piece, there's magnets on the back here, because this piece is one of 4 seasonal pieces. So there is also a spring, autumn, and summer version of this. And so I want to do all 4 of them and put them on the same board. So I just mounted this on some mat board with some batting, and I did a little blue rickrack trim around the edge there. And I just laced it on the back there, glued that rickrack trim, put the magnets on, and so it just pops on. And so I'm just going to get a little easel for this to sit in so I can just display it. So I'm glad I got it done in February because at least I can put it out for a little bit, although I will be putting out my spring decor in March. So it can sit out for a little bit before I have to put it away. That just means I need to get started on spring, right? I'll sit this back here. All right, that's my first fully finished. The second fully finished item that I have to show you today is this one. So this was the Heart and Hand 2023 Collector's Heart that I started last February and finished. Did I finish this last month? I finished it either last month or this month, I forget. But I mounted it on this like block thing that I just got from like Hobby Lobby. and stained. And I actually glued this on because I wasn't planning on switching it out with any other pieces. So I mounted it on some mat board with some batting, put some of this like ribbon trim behind it that I got at Hobby Lobby because the color matched perfectly. And yeah, and it's a block, so it just kind of sits on its own. So yeah, I'm excited to have that to sit out too. I still have my Valentine decor out. I'm gonna switch it out on March 1st. So it can sit out for a few more days and then it's gotta go away till next year. All right. And then my last fully finish, I just finished stitching this, I wanna say a couple weeks ago. It's called Love to Stitch Squared. I turned it into a little tiny pillow. This chart was designed by my friend Allison of AZ Family Zoo. And she actually charted hers in like whites and pinks, like for Valentine's Day. I decided I wanted to add some blue in there. And so, which turned out perfect because I had this heart fabric that matches perfectly. So just a cute little tiny pillow that I'm going to put in my tiered tray here in my craft room. I've got a shelf up above here that has some decorations on it. So that's going to go up there because it's the perfect piece to decorate my craft room with. So I love it. And Allison from AZ Family Zoo on Etsy, she's got several of these squared pieces because you can see it's like broken up into 4 squares, and she's got them for different holidays and stuff. They're super cute and super easy to stitch up. I think this is the 4th one I've stitched. I know I stitched, there was like a dog themed one. I did a Halloween, I did a Christmas, and yeah, I think this is the 4th one of hers that I stitched. They stitch up super quick and they're super cute. So go grab that from her Etsy shop. I will link her Etsy shop below. So anyway, speaking of Allison, my friend Allison from AZ Family Zoo, she's on Instagram as AZ Family Zoo, but she's also on there as Mrs. AZ Family Zoo. She and I are hosting a SAL together, a stitch along. And so we did post it on our Instagram. So if you follow either of us, you might have seen it already. But if you haven't, now you'll know. We are hosting a stitch along for the Spring Parade bunnies from Leela's Studio. So there are 2 of these charts, Spring Parade Set 1, Spring Parade Set 2. I believe these came out at market a couple years ago. So these aren't brand new charts. They should be easy to get a hold of, you know, anywhere that you buy your cross stitch charts. And so she asked, do you want to do a stitch along? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Because I already have stitched 2 of these from those booklets. I stitched these. So 2 years ago, I stitched the artichoke bunny. Last year, I stitched the radish bunny. And so my plan is to just stitch one every year. And then I'll have my own little spring parade. So here's my previous finishes of these on this green fabric. I've got a fuzzy on this one. So this green fabric was an exclusive fabric that I got from a Black Needle Society box a while back. I think it was in the box Happy Hour with Your Stitching, something like that. I think the fabric was called It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive it came in that box. But you could, if you like the green, you could literally use any spring green for yours. Or as you can see on the cover here, they stitched it in neutral fabric. So I am going to stitch the carrot bunny this time. So apparently I'm just loving the bunnies driving vegetable cars. So next up is the carrot bunny. So I'm going to start him on March 1st. So I haven't started him yet. I'm going to use the same exact fabric. So I have enough fabric to stitch a few of these. I'm thinking like I have enough fabric to stitch maybe 6 of these. I'm almost positive it's a 32 count, and I'm using the called for DMC. It's charted completely in DMC. So yes. So I know Allison has already started hers. She is stitching this strawberry bunny. So the SAL, the stitch along, is It's not like a scheduled stitch along where you have to have a certain amount done by a certain time. It's just a jump in whenever you want to jump in. My goal is just to have it done by Easter. So anytime you're ready, join us, jump on in. We are glad to have you stitch with us. And we are using the hashtag Bunny Parade SAL 2024. So if you do decide to join us, make sure you use our hashtag and make sure you tag us. You can tag me at Stitchy Sarah Reads on Instagram, and you can tag Allison at AZ Family Zoo. And I will put all that information below so you don't have to try to remember that. But I hope you'll join us. I've already seen a few people saying, I'm going to join in. I've got my fabric. I've got my floss. I'm ready to go. So these bunnies are just too cute. And that's how I did the backs of those. So yeah, I hope you'll join us. It's really fun to stitch. And these stitch up pretty quickly. Let's see, what's the stitch count? The stitch count is 70 by 70. Not too bad. Okay, let me set those over there. All right, moving along. Let's talk WIPs. WIPs stands for Works in Progress. So these are things that I have been working on since the last time I talked to you guys, which was 2 weeks ago. So I have been really trying to stick to an every 2 week schedule. And I've been doing pretty good so far. So yay me. So I'm just going to show you what I've been stitching in the last couple of weeks. I've really been focusing on some bigger pieces and trying to get some progress on those. And so I'm excited to show you what I've been doing. So the first thing I've been stitching on, and these aren't in any particular order, it's just literally the first thing on my stack here. The first thing on my stack here is My Blue Heaven by Summer House Stitchworks. This was the exclusive for the retreat that I went to, the Stitch Away retreat in January, hosted by Keepsakes here in Ohio. And this was the retreat piece. Now, it is exclusive to Keepsakes. So if you do like this chart, even if you weren't at the retreat, you can order it from Keepsakes. So go check them out. They're on Instagram, they're online. But I'll show you a little bit of a close-up of the chart there. So it's called My Blue Heaven. And I've talked about this before, so I won't go into any detail, but it was really interesting to hear Beth from Summer House Stitchworks talk about her inspiration and, you know, how she came up with this piece. And so I started it that night when we got it at the retreat, and I'm stitching it with all the called for colors because it came with all the colors. And I'm stitching this on Atomic Ranch Weathered Stone in 40 count. So there we go. That's what it looks like. Sorry, it's got dog hair on it. You know, everything I stitch has dog hair on it, and it's not coming off, so it's got dog glitter. But that's where I'm at. Check that out. I am loving this so much. So as you can see, I've got that whole border done up top there, and I've been working on the house, and I just did this roof. Let me show you the picture again. So this roof on this house, the roof is 2 different colors of blue, a dark blue and a light blue, and those are like staggered satin stitches. And it looks cool. I love it. I'm going to put a clip on here so this doesn't fall off. But I did it. It took me a little bit of time, but I did it, and I think it looks really cool. So there's my roof. So I'm just loving this piece. I kind of keep going back and forth between doing some border and then working in the center here. And I'm just loving seeing this unfold as I go. It's so pretty. So pretty. I'm loving the details of the brick here. And I like how the brick on the front of the house is different than the brick on the sides. I guess this is probably more like stonework, and then we got bricks. But it's such a cool piece. It's very detailed. I just love it so much. So I'm going to keep working on that. I love it. I'm just loving seeing it unfold. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. All right. Sorry for bumping the table there. Okay. The next thing I worked on is an older WIP of mine. I started this, I want to say last spring. And I was inspired to pull it back out by my friend Sarah, handmade by Sarah W. Go check out her Flosstube. She was like, I'm going to start this. And I was like, that's one of my WIPs, so I'm just going to stitch it with you. So she started Blackberry House a little while ago. And so I decided to pull mine out and work on mine while she worked on hers. And so here's the progress I've made. There we go. Oh, that looks so good on that fabric. So I'm stitching mine on a 46 count color and cotton fabric in the color pewter. And I am using all of the called for floss except for this gray, because the gray, I think the gray was like aged pewter, if I'm not mistaken. It was too light. It was blending in. So I pulled something from my stash. This is a Roxy Flossco color in the color Irony. And I think it's perfect. It shows up really nice on this fabric. So that's where I'm at. I got the top border done. So I've been coming down and working on some of these like stars. And then I'll be getting down into working on some more of that plant. And it's so pretty. I just love the colors in this. Gorgeous. Oh, so many pretty things to stitch. All right. Well, speaking of Sarah W., I might as well just title this episode today, Inspired by Sarah W., because almost everything that I have here has been inspired by her, or I decided to work on it because she was working on it. So she started another project that I had as a WIP as well. So she was going to start on Winter Rose Manor because she had finished her Light of Winter by Brenda Gervais, and this is kind of like a companion piece for that. And so she decided to start it. I'm like, well, I have a start on that already, so I'm going to stitch on that with you too. So I pulled mine out and I made some progress on it because I had a really teeny tiny awful start. I only had this flower and just a little bit of this border outline, and that was it. So as you can see, I have gone around and done the outline of that border all the way around. So, I mean, there's still a lot to add to it. I've got to add all the flowers to this part of the border. There's like berries along this part of the border, and these like diamonds have to be filled in. But I'm pretty pleased with that. A lot more progress than I had before. Now I'm stitching this on a mystery linen, meaning that I have no idea what color, what dyer, what count it is. If I had to guess, I think it's a 40 count. I'm stitching 1/2. So it's either a 40 or like a tight, like a tighter, like 36 count weave. It's got a bit of a greenish tint to it. It's like a neutral with a greenish tint to it. It's coming across a lot more like greeny on the camera than it is in real life, but that's what I'm doing. Now I'm using all the called for, except that I switched out a couple of colors. Sarah and I were talking about the colors in here, and there were a couple of colors we were concerned about. So the white in here, that white, like the snow at the bottom and that flower pot on top of the house, was charted with, I want to say, it was roasted marshmallow. Maybe it was Gentle Arts roasted marshmallow. That was too yellowy. So we decided to switch it out for Classic Colorworks toasted marshmallow. You can see that's very white, and that's going to pop. So we decided we didn't want yellow snow. No yellow snow. Also, the pink house in the chart is charted with, what is it, Weeks Dye Works It's Conch. Is that Weeks Dye Works? Regardless, let's see. Yeah, it's Weeks Dye Works. That was just not pink enough for us. Now, we didn't want like crazy pink, like bubblegum pink, but we wanted something that was a little pinkier than Conch was. So I chose this pink right here. Ooh. And obviously I haven't stitched anything with it yet, so I'll be able to tell better when I use it, but I think this is gonna work. Now this color here is something I had in stash from Roxy Floss Co. In the color Blush Crush. So I think it works with the other colors in this palette. I did want my pink to stand out a little bit more, and I don't think it like clashes with any of these colors. So I think it'll work. We'll see. Once I start stitching it, I'll be able to tell better whether or not that's gonna work. So there's that. Okay, next, I have been working on My Sister's Samplers and Richardson, and this was the birthday start for Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs. That was what she chose for her birthday start. Lots of people are stitching it. You've probably seen it around. So I jumped on the bandwagon. I said, I want to stitch it too, because I was having FOMO. So, and those colors are so pretty. Check that out. So I've got the top 3 rows done of the alphabet. There is another row below that that has the numbers, so I'll go there next. But I wanted to get those alphabets done. And I decided to go for a little bit of a darker fabric than what's pictured here because I wanted my white to stand out. And I chose, this is a 40 count needle and flax in the color Shiloh. And I just love that variegation, that modeling. I think those colors just pop on there. And I am using the called for Vicky Clayton silks. And it's just really fun to stitch on. I cannot wait to get down to those flowers. It's so pretty. So there's that. 2 more. Are you with me still? Okay, we can do it. Alrighty. Okay, so next, again, inspired by Sarah W. Actually, this was inspired to her by her friend Diane, because her friend Diane was like, hey, I want to stitch this for my birthday. And Sarah was like, oh, I'll stitch that with you. And then Sarah showed me that she was stitching it with her friend Diane for Diane's birthday. And I said, can I stitch it too? So I joined in. So this chart is called the Smith Sampler by the Scarlett House. And it is just beautiful. I love that bird, that stripy, crazy bird in the middle there. And that swan up top is so pretty. So I joined in with Sarah and Diane, and I am stitching mine on, this is Fox and Rabbit, I believe, the color Dirt Track. I mean, check that out. Now that's some modeling. That looks like a dirt track. So it's 40 count dirt track. And I am stitching this using a color conversion created by Miss Sarah of Handmade by Sarah W. She charted this all, she didn't chart it, she converted this all to Roxy Floss Co. colors. And she just kind of went through and picked colors that she thought would look good. And I agreed. I think they look great so far. So I just went ahead and purchased all the colors she was using because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? She already picked a good conversion. I'm going to use it. So if you do want her color conversion, go send her a message on Instagram. She'll be happy to share that with you. But I think it looks so pretty so far. Oh, I love it. Okay, and then one more. Now, if you've been around for a little while, you've seen this project many times. Many times. This project's been around for a few years for me. Two, I don't know, a little while. I'm stitching Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. Let me show you the picture of the whole chart. Oh, I saw somebody on Instagram, and I cannot remember for the life of me who it was. Somebody on Instagram had finished it. I was so jealous, but it looked so good. And it was motivating. I was like, if she can finish it, I can finish it too. So I'm going to finish it. Here is the chart, Let Love Rain. It is gorgeous. And here is mine. Let me use my little clips here. So while I'm clipping this to the board here, I'll tell you that my fabric is a 46 count prehistoric by Fox and Rabbit. And I am stitching with all the called for floss, except I switched out the green for 469. I think the green was supposed to be Oscar. And I switched out the blue from 926 to 924. Everything else is the same though. Okay, let me show you the whole thing first. And I'll come in a little bit closer. So everything up top is done. And what I've been working on lately is the border. So I've been filling in all these flowers in the border. So you can see I have kind of left off with that down here. So my goal in the next few days is to finish the flowers in the border and be done with that by March 1st. That way in March, I can focus on finishing this big, beautiful section in the middle with this giant flower pot and all the flowers and all of the leaves and the butterflies. And I am shooting for a finish by the end of March. Can I do it? I can. Yes, you're supposed to say, yes, you can. I heard you. I heard you say, yes, you can. You were encouraging me. Thank you. But yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. And I am so excited. I've never had anything professionally framed before. This is going to be the first one. This is going to be professionally framed because I have been working on this for a long, long time. It is gorgeous. It is a labor of love, and I want this on my wall. And when I see it on my wall, I want to be happy to see it and not, if I frame it myself, I'm going to be like, oh, that's crooked. Oh, that doesn't look right. I want to look at it and be like, wow, that looks amazing. So I'm just going to go take it somewhere, get it professionally framed, and I'm going to love it forever. So I just can't like put this down. We're just going to sit here and you're just going to look at it. Is that fine? We'll just sit here and you can look at it. You can gaze at the beauty. Oh, I love it. Okay, I'll put it down. I'll put it down because I'll show it to you the next time I see you, right? And then the next time I see you, it's going to have even more done and you're going to be so impressed. Anyway, so that's all my whips. I've shown you my fully finishes. I've shown you my whips. Let's talk about haul. Before we talk about haul, let's talk about knitting, shall we? Now, if you're not a knitter, don't be like, oh, I don't care about her knitting. Like, I don't have much to show you, so don't go anywhere. I'll be done in like 2 minutes. But the last time I was on here, I need a drink, hold on. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Sorry. The last time I was on here, I told you guys that I was participating in the Tiger Lily beanie along that Carrie Tiger Lily was hosting for her birthday. And the last time I got on here, I showed you guys my yarn, which was in a big giant mess. Fortunately, several of you thought it was funny and nobody yelled at me for storing my yarn that way. So thank you for being kind. I am happy to report that my yarn is in a ball. Yay, I did it. I got it in a ball and I hate to say the word mastered, but I have done the cast on, the long tail cast on. Have my little pull noodle on here so it doesn't fall off my needle. And that's all I've got. that's all I've got. So I am sorely behind on the stitch along, or the beanie along, I should say. But hey, this is progress from what you saw last time. So maybe when you see me again the next time, I'll have more than that. Progress is progress, right? I'll take it. It's better than it was before. So yeah, like I said, if you weren't here for knitting, don't worry, it's over. It's gone away now. Whew. Okay, I have a little bit of haul and then we'll call it a day. So I got in the mail a couple days ago my Roxy Floss Co. order. So I get the Floss Club from Roxy Floss Co. I get the brights and I get the neutrals, and I have them all mixed in here. So I'll just show them all to you together, shall we? So here we go. Those are my flosses that I got. And the names of these are so cute and fun. This one is a nice neutral floss called Baklava, and I love the variegation in these. Some of these are more variegated than others. And Roxy Floss Co. comes in 8 yards, so you get quite a bit. It's great. Got Gourd Vibes Only. I love this one. Grape Expectations. Very variegated dark purple. This one's pretty. Tutti Frutti. Sherwood, nice dark green. I love this one. In a Jam. Got like pinks and purples there. A little bit of blue. See for Yourself, SEA. Real dark blue. Hitting Snooze. I love this one, Crooked. Oh, look at that pretty variegation. And Nature Walk. So I get these every month, and I really enjoy it because I can build up my stash of Roxy Floss. And I just love pulling from them because their floss is great. If you haven't tried it, you should give it a try. You can order it from Evertote. All right, so I'm in the Roxy Floss Co. Monthly Floss Club. I'm also in a monthly fabric club from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. I got this. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. It's called Burning Woods Crackling Fire. And I get the 46 count linen. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. So I just love getting their fabrics. They're very colorful. And I just love having stuff like this in my stash because you never know. You never know what you're going to pull out and stitch on it. And I used to think, like, do I even use these? But actually, I have quite a few whips on Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. So I do actually use them. So very pretty. And then I got some Happy Mail. So I meant to show these last time and I forgot to put them in my stack. I was contacted by the lovely maker from Lola Opal Boutique. Lola Opal Boutique on Etsy. Here's her QR code. But she asked if she could send me some really pretty scissor fobs. You can use them for scissor fobs, or you can use them to like as bag zipper pulls. So she sent me some to try out, and these are just gorgeous. They're just so pretty and well made. Very sparkly. I love that bead with the colors in it. Always has a little charm at the bottom. This one says lovely. This one's a fun one for winter. It's got this little snowman on it. So cute. I love the little sparkly snowflake there. Oh, and these two are my favorite, these last two. Oh, isn't that so pretty? It says, she believed she could, so she did. So pretty. I love this bead here. I think this one right here is my favorite. Oh, perfect for Valentine's Day, but I'm going to use it all year round. So pretty. It says, do all things with love. So she sells all kinds of these in her shop. Go check her out. Lola Opal Boutique. definitely check her out. And thank you so much for sending these to me. I love them. And I'm going to put them on my bags. They're going to be zipper pulls for my bags. All right. Speaking of happy mail, these didn't come in the mail. These were hand delivered to me yesterday by my lovely mother. She decided that I just didn't have enough project bags. So she decided to bring me a couple more, you know, just because she's so nice. So this first one, first of all, look at it. Beautiful. Look at those birds. So this first one here was actually made by my sister. Her name is Megan, and she is the maker and creator of Pepper Pot Shop. Shop with two P's and an E at the end. Pepper Pot Shop. She makes these beautiful project bags. She makes them in all fabric, and she makes vinyl front bags. And her bags just have the cutest fabrics. I cannot wait to put a spring piece. In fact, I think I might use this for my bunny SAL. I don't know. I might have another spring pattern that has birds on it. We'll see. It's definitely getting used very soon. But it's got this beautiful flower charm on it. Pretty zipper. And oh, I love the fabric inside. Check that out. That fabric on the inside matches this bird here perfectly. I love it. I love it. So go check out Pepper Pot Shop. I will link her below because I think she still has some of these in her shop. So go get yours while you can. And she's got other cute bags in there too. So you can't go wrong for sure. And then my mom also brought me a bag that she made because my mom, Kathy, is the maker of Painted Leaf Co. So look at me in a family full of bag makers, and I can't make a bag to save my life. I have made a couple bags. We'll just say no one's going to want to buy them. They're not sellable quality. So I guess that skill kind of skipped me, but I got my stitching, so it's fine. Anyway, she brought me this bag. Raccoons driving airplanes. Come on. Come on. Look at these dudes. Aren't they cute? Oh, look at that guy with his parachute. Oh, my Lord. So cute. Painted Leaf Co. She's actually, depending on when you see my video, my mom is actually putting these bags in her shop tonight at 7:30, Sunday, February 25th. So you might not be seeing this before then, but hopefully if you hurry over to her shop, she'll have some. But I love this coordinating fabric with these compass roses. Isn't that adorable? And you got this little plain charm here. And the fabric inside is perfect. Check that out. Perfect colors to go with this bag. Perfect. My mom and my sister really, I mean, like, you might think to yourself, like, who cares what color the fabric inside the bag is? Well, I do. I do, because not only do I want the outside of my bag to be pretty, I want the inside to be pretty too. And my mom and my sister are great at choosing coordinating fabrics for the inside of their bags. And I even love, like, my mom is like clever this way. I even love that her quilting mimics the compass rose. I wouldn't have thought to do that. Just saying. I'm just saying. So truly impressed by my mom and my sister and their sewing skills, because I can't make these, but I can buy them. So, and I hope you will go and buy their bags too. So there we go. That was my haul and my happy mail and all the, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're getting a chance to do a little stitching of your own. I would love to hear what you're stitching. And, oh, and if you're joining in the Bunny Parade SAL, let me know. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.